Good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Jessica Blum here, joining meteorologist Carmelo Lattuca here in the 1011 streaming studio on behalf of the 1011 Severe Weather Center. It is Wednesday. We've made it through a couple rounds of snow now, our first rounds of snow of this season, and some cold. Yesterday morning dropped down to 2. We haven't been that cold throughout the morning. It hasn't felt all that cold, but the cold air is rushing in as we get into tomorrow. So that's really what we're here to talk about, isn't Carmelo?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure there were a lot of people that left the house today, mid-30s, thinking, if it's mid-30s now, then we'll only warm up today. And it's usually what we do in the afternoon, but we just had northerly winds, and we have seen falling temperatures since about 6, 7 this morning. I think we're in the teens, maybe low 20s right now, and it's only expected to continue into tomorrow.
One of those days where we do have sunshine, and you'd expect we would be warming, but we're definitely not. I also wanted to, I was talking to Carmelo before we just jumped on the stream that the Spotify Wrapped came out. Are you a Spotify user?
Apple Music.
Okay, that's where we differ. No, I'm just kidding. Spotify Wrapped, though, is fun. I think Apple Music's tried to do their own version of this, too. And I wanted to tell you, to get your live reaction to, they made this new thing this year about your average listening age. Like, what age do they think I am? I think based on the music I listen to. Okay. Guess what I got?
Tell me.
80.
What are you listening
80 years old.
80?
I mean, I listen to some 60s, but apparently Spotify thinks I'm 80 years old. That's a tale for another time. But we are here to talk about the cold and maybe bundling up with some Christmas tunes or whatever you maybe want to listen to at this time of the year.
Great day for it.
Carmelo and I, we are bundling up with some colder temperatures for sure.
Yeah, I mean, weather alert day tomorrow. I mean, we're talking about temperatures dropping down. Jessica, you said 2 above 0 yesterday. I think we're going to be dropping down to, 0, 1, 2 below. It's certainly possible. And just a slight wind at right around 5 miles an hour is going to make it feel like it's probably 10 below out there. So it won't take much wind. But,
no, it won't.
And we're also flirting with record temperatures.
Exactly. That's where I wanted to start. Just had to reconfigure some things because I wasn't set up to come up with you in these boxes. But yeah, -1 is what we have forecasted for tomorrow.
Why can't we be talking about record highs?
I know. I miss those. We were talking about those in November.
Oh, man. When we were in the 70s for a few days.
Getting close to 80 degrees. We do remember that very well. But now putting
1 below 0 and 1902, that's a pretty old record. So, we're going to get close. I don't know if we're going to get quite there. If the sky's clear and our winds do drop down, I think it's certainly possible.
Certainly, especially at the airport. If you don't know this already, we're always watching the airport. It has a mind of its own. It loves to drop off a little colder than other areas. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw below 0 temperature readings and then wind chills too, because it doesn't take too much wind to make it feel colder when we're talking about sub-zero temperatures. So the average low at this time of the year is in the 20s. Far from that, but because of this cold morning, we've issued a weather alert day. You want to talk about this a little bit, Carmelo?
Yeah, and I think this is more because of it's our first sub-zero low temperature projected of the year. Even if we don't hit it, it's still going to be cold. Mm-hmm. No, we don't have any cold weather advisories, no extreme cold warnings. Wind chills aren't going to be like 20 to 40 below 0, but 10 below 0, that's still bitterly cold. You're going to want to bundle up, but it's more of it's because of that first time of the year. But certainly, even if it's just a few degrees, coldest temperatures of the season so far.
We're finally getting, I think, our first blast of not only winter cold, but Arctic cold. It's originating from farther up north, and we're finally seeing it pulled to our latitude. So bundle up for sure tomorrow morning. I think we'll be cold to start, but I don't think the entire day will be cold. Kind of similar feeling to today. But these high temperatures you mentioned today, these happened in the 6 o'clock hour this morning?
Yes.
And we've been falling ever since. So it's kind of interesting to talk. Usually I talk about the low temperatures, but I don't think we've seen our coldest temperature of the day so far. That'll probably happen.
11:59.
Yeah, yep.
This is going to be a very late low kind of day, an early high kind of day. It's not normal. It's not usual. Mm-hmm. It does happen every so often, but it's just one of those days.
Just a weird day. 40 in Imperial for a high temperature probably early this morning, and a cold front continues to march its way through the state. I also wanted to bring up, we have this wonderful look at Lincoln cameras across town at road conditions and getting a little more habit of maybe looking at these throughout the winter season to look at road conditions. They've been faring a lot better. Of course, we're a couple days removed from our system on Monday that dropped a couple more inches here in Lincoln, but drying out, the sun's coming up to help. I do want to point out last night was one of those nights, and tonight's probably one of those nights too where we could have some refreezing in some spots, with some slick spots, but hopefully drying up enough that there isn't too many of those, I think, across town. But nice to get this aerial view. And then, of course, we have our Skyview cameras across the state. Still winter wonderland out there, but you can see some of those snow patches kind of melting away in spots, too. Nice sunshine here in Lincoln. A lot of cloud cover, though, out there, too.
We had cloud cover this morning. The sun's beginning to filter through. Normally we expect when the sun comes out, temperatures warm up. Just, it's not that day, with our northerly winds at 21 miles an hour. It's making it feel like 8, even though temperatures are holding into the low 20s, but they will continue to steadily drop off. I mean, if we're in the low 20s now, I think by 6 o'clock, we're definitely in the teens and then close to 10 degrees by our projections by midnight.
It is one of those weirder days because this morning I was out and about running errands and I didn't think it was that cold.
No.
But you'll definitely feel it going home tonight. The kids will feel it going home from school. It's certainly one of those backward days where it's going to feel colder the later we get. And there is some dry air out there. I know I was talking to Danielle, and she's kind of staticky no matter what she touches. We got some dry air out there, too, for now, which might play into our precipitation chances coming up because they don't look fantastic, but maybe better toward the weekend. There's temperatures across Lincoln, too. Really
pretty
around,
uniform.
Lower 20s. And then looking across southeast Nebraska, it is colder to the north.
Oh, look at Omaha already at 19.
Yeah.
But still holding in near freezing. Red cloud in Superior, I believe. Yep. But yeah, look at to the north. It's definitely a little bit colder.
Yeah,
out there.
down to 18
in O'Neill, mid-30s in southwestern Nebraska. I mean, it's just falling temperatures throughout the day.
Front is trying to reinforce some stronger winds, but this is noticeably colder than this time yesterday.
Yes.
Love looking at these maps. We are 10 degrees colder in Lincoln, 20 degrees colder through much of central Nebraska. We're feeling it. Again, we're going to feel it again tomorrow morning. This is what it feels like out there. 3 below in Iowa. Iowa's expected to have double-digit morning low temperatures tomorrow. With the snowpack, they had, a foot, if not more than that, in portions of central Iowa from the snowstorm over the weekend. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some very cold,
we don't have that much snow because
it
totally could be a lot colder out there tomorrow.
It totally could.
Single-digit feel-like temperatures now. But these will drop, I think, below 0. I think that's almost a certainty that we'll see sub-0 wind chills. Because if we drop by 0 and the wind, if the wind's a couple miles an hour, it's going to feel cold.
And the strongest winds right now are in the eastern portions of the state. They are out of the north, so we've seen the front really work its way through, and now we're just seeing the cold air filter in behind it.
But these winds will drop off. That's the good news. These 20 to 30, well, not even 30, but 18 to 26 mile per hour wind gusts now. Not expecting those in southeastern Nebraska as we head into our Thursday morning. But still going to feel pretty cold out there. And our skies are going to clear tonight. So we're seeing a little bit of cloud cover out there right now. With clearing skies, your temperatures are allowed to drop down cooler. We still have a little bit of a snowpack, so that's probably not helping either. But, man, this is a night where I'd love to have some overcast skies.
I was going to say, the cloud cover last night helped us out. It was pretty nice. Going home around 11 o'clock, midnight myself from work. And, it really felt pretty nice. But not going to feel that way tonight into tomorrow morning. You can see the clear skies really across eastern Nebraska, a little more cloud cover in western Nebraska, but that is certainly going to play a part. High pressure also working to keep skies pretty clear throughout the day tomorrow. Really not talking about precipitation chances tomorrow or really into Friday, and eventually rebounding.
Right. It's interesting. I think, since last Wednesday, a week ago, our focus was on the snow Saturday. And then our focus turned to the snow on Monday. We're done with, at least for a few days, some wintry precipitation. Now we're focusing on the cold temperatures behind it. So at least we're not getting a 1-2 punch, combined, in a row. Just, simultaneously is what I'm trying to say. But still, 1 below 0 in Lincoln, 3 below in Omaha, 2 below in Tacoma, single digits. I don't think we're going to be at 10, honestly, across anywhere in eastern Nebraska. I know there's some 9, 8, Hebron and Fall City, but you're going to have to go out to the west to get back into the teens for the most part.
And the good news is this is only lasting for about a day, so this isn't a long stretch of cold by any means. We'll get through it. Nebraskans do. We'll get through it in a day.
By Friday, we're talking 40 statewide, maybe near 50. It's
I
just all
love
over the place.
that. See, there's the good news. We got to look at the bright spots at this time of the year because not a whole lot of us love the cold or want to get used to that. But I also wanted to point out the winds in the morning time frame. Northern Nebraska is going to experience some higher winds at this point. Lincoln, even a 6 mile per hour wind is going to factor into a wind chill that'll likely send us around 5 to 10 below maybe at times. But northern Nebraska, we wouldn't be surprised to see this. What do we?
Oh, I love that transition.
Yeah, little icicles
cool.
make it feel cold.
And we just looked it up, so I know I can confidently say the criteria for cold weather advisory is 20 below?
20 to 29 below.
20 to 29. So even though there's a 20, projected forecast in Wayne, I think if it was a little bit more widespread, I wouldn't rule out
and for longer
counties being under a cold weather advisory, and probably for longer too. I think Northwest Iowa though a much better chance of seeing some advisories issued. Their criteria might be a little bit different, but not the worst morning we could have, but still the coldest that we've seen.
Carmelo's hinting at the fact that we have kind of new winter headlines going into. I mean, we had them last season. I think last season was our first season, but
I still think people think wind chill. Wind chill advisory, cold weather advisory, same thing. Wind chill warning, cold weather warning. But the criteria, I think the numbering, it was just the wording that changed. The numbering should have stayed the same. So 20 to 30 below, 20 to 29, sorry, to be specific.
And then 30 below is your extreme cold warning, which we haven't seen those yet this season. So we're wondering, are those going to come out? And I don't think they are going to come out this time. And probably not for a while. I wouldn't be surprised to see some of those headlines for Iowa maybe tonight. I don't think any of those have been issued yet, though. So still waiting to see on some of those. And then high temperatures tomorrow are trying to get closer to 30, but then we've got 40s out in western Nebraska.
I mean, technically warmer for the afternoon today, not the high today.
No,
because the high was in the 30s.
You're right,
but,
not by much.
So tomorrow will feel cold, but mid 40s out to the west tomorrow, and they don't have a snowpack, so they're able to warm up a little bit quicker too. But it's not too bad Friday morning. I mean, that's still below average. I think maybe a few degrees. We're in the teens to 20s, and then as we go into Friday afternoon, this is what I was talking about.
This looks nice. You're right. Some areas closer to 50 degrees, even 41 in Lincoln's going to feel like a heat wave, I think, after a cold morning.
A good chunk of the remaining snow. Probably not all of it. I would never say all of it. It usually does take a pretty good while, but we even have 40s next week, so that's nice too.
Yeah, 40s next week too. I think we look a little bit colder going into this weekend.
And we're watching out for some rain, snow. There's still a lot of differences in the models from what we saw today just compared to yesterday on Saturday. So I'm not overly concerned as of right now. I wouldn't rule out travel impacts. I think they're expected to be minor at this time, but we'll get through tomorrow, and then I think our focus will solely be on the Saturday.
We can start looking at models tomorrow too, and kind of show you guys a comparison. I just didn't really want to talk about it today because
that's not the pressing concern.
Still up in the air.
Yeah, it's still up in the air. That's still 3 days away.
We've got a weather alert day tomorrow.
Is a good when we're talking amounts, So maybe a snowfall map out there tomorrow, but. I mean, these temperatures, they're really all over the place. 20s on Thursday, 20s back on Sunday. Sunday, another shot of cold air. But next Tuesday, Wednesday, mostly sunny, partly cloudy, maybe mostly cloudy, but 40s. Look at that low temperature Wednesday, 32. You got to love that.
Love that. That's like a lot warmer than our high temperature, tomorrow or Sunday. Things are looking better. Things are looking a lot warmer. Things are leaning over toward the middle of the month. Especially some areas out towards central and western Nebraska, 50s, 60 within reach in North Platte and McCook, namely by next Tuesday.
So morning temperature is definitely tomorrow morning is the coldest. But if we're talking afternoon, I mean, that's easy to point out right now. It's going to be Sunday. You got 20s and 30s. Warmest days, probably next Tuesday. I mean, you got some, we almost have 60 in North Platte. That's right.
Isn't
and
that
McCook.
Wild?
That is wild. Wow.
Crazy to get there. But again, they don't have snow on the ground. We're not expecting any snow to come there anytime soon to try and...
I mean, you look at North Platte, they don't have a high below 32 in the entire forecast. Their coldest is 36.
That's wild. I kind of want to talk to my friend our friend, Emma out in Sydney, Nebraska. She
just got to be loving it.
I would imagine she would be, but also like Western Nebraska people love their snow.
They do.
They really do. So they're kind of got the short end of the stick right now. We're early in the season. And then it looks like precipitation chances going up a little bit for Saturday, namely toward Norfolk and Omaha and far eastern Nebraska. A little chance for a wintry mix. I don't think we're quite certain what's going to fall yet.
I think more models are trending towards snow today.
Okay.
Not as much trending towards rain, but with our temperature, high temperature 34, that's still warm enough to get wintry mix rain. But definitely Saturday in terms of the next 10 days, our highest chance for precip. So next week, right now, looks rather quiet.
Yeah, next week looks dry, and the 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook is starting to lean a lot of southern Nebraska drier than normal. That'll be through the middle of the month, which I think will also help us to turn a little warmer.
This is interesting because Brad was just talking about this a little while ago. The gradient is very tight.
It is.
The difference, the line between cool and warm. I mean, you're seeing a lot of shades of orange from eastern to western Nebraska. So Lincoln, no real clear signal. I mean, our average high at this point will probably dropping down into the mid to upper 30s, but western Nebraska could be trending warmer just like they are over the next week. So next week to 2 weeks,
They're
keeping that
looking
warmer
quite
air
warm.
out in western Nebraska. The snow keeping it away.
I was going to say that's what it signals to me. So yeah, that's all we wanted to make you aware of was how cold it's really going to be tomorrow. It's just going to be pretty frigid, downright cold.
That's definitely one way to put it for sure. It's
Bundle
gonna be
up,
really cold.
no exposed skin. Probably not a great idea, but again, it's not going to last all that long. We'll just get through the morning. The afternoon will start to feel a little bit better, and then especially by the end of this week, we'll be sitting pretty, and I think into next week too. And stay tuned, of course. We'll post some more forecast details about the weekend once we get closer. Of course, Carmelo has a 4 o'clock show, so stay tuned for that tonight.
We're
And then
about a
Brad-
half hour away.
Yeah, Brad's got the 5, 6, and 10 tonight, and we'll continue to stay on top of course, your weather always, and stay tuned to our streaming apps too as we continue to do more live streams like this.
Absolutely.
But Carmelo, I appreciate you
course.
jumping on right before your
course.
show here this afternoon. I appreciate you guys for joining us as well. Hope you stay warm through the very, very cold morning tomorrow.